Okay, Saturday, December 28th, part 2. Okay, part 2, continuation. All right. So, I think, or like I was saying, this is why it had to go this way. Man, I'm so upset that first draft, like, got corrupted or whatever, because I think I said this way earlier in the other take. We needed this to go quickly because they have done all the work for us at this point. We haven't had to present them with anything. They have exposed everything themselves. And while some core cultists, yes, will follow them to the ends of the earth, for a lot of folks, this was the moment that they realized the emperor had no clothes. This is the moment they're realizing they have been grifted and used. This is the moment that they realize, holy shit. We've seen waves of this, right? Every so often there's another wave of regret that comes out when another policy or appointment is made. But this is like one of the final ones where these folks are really realizing, oh shit, we were used. And the reaction to that's going to be very interesting because we've seen how these people behave when they are upset. And while they're not exactly threatening, it does get messy and, like unsanitary. So we'll see what they do. However, this was all necessary. We needed this because this takes as much wind as possible out of the sails of people who would like to fight to keep this current regime in place. Do you understand? It also adds legitimacy to any complaints or objections, what have you, that could come up in Congress. We now have 2 months worth of them showing their entire asses. And then you combine that with what may or may not be presented. If there were state findings, if there were findings in the D&I report, if Congress legislators have their own objections and the correct percentage, I forgot exactly, is it 20%? Don't quote me, but enough of them get the votes to at least bring it up as discussion and review everything. I mean, there are multiple options and paths here, but it's got to hit Congress. And like we've said before, if it hits Congress, nothing can come from the current administration or Miss Ma'am. It cannot be that. It has to be Congress. It has to be a 3-letter agency. It has to be an international court of some kind. So I think potentially one of the things they were working on was making sure that there isn't going to be too much of a fiasco over picking a speaker, and that the person who's chosen isn't going to be a loyalist, and no, isn't going to be musky either. It will probably be someone who's country over party, someone who is more moderate and there to do the work, not to play favorites or kiss the ring. And backed by that, with the gavel in the hand of one of their own, it is now, it's not about the blues weaponized, you understand? It is hands clean. It is the legislature, the Republican-led legislature, that is allowing this to happen. Do you understand? So I could be wrong, but if that is the finish on that, oh my gosh. Oh, right, in the 14th Amendment. I keep forgetting about that one too. But oh my gosh, if a Republican-led legislature paves the way or blocks him or opens the door to reviewing evidence or whatever it is, like, just what a rebrand that would be for them. Like, that would be a bonus for the party. It would be a kick to the cult. And honestly, the cult will be on its dying breath because only wahoos could support what's going on right now at this point. It's wild. Only people who are still in it because they bought the merchandise and they can't let go of the dream, or they're so fueled by white delusion and racism and misogyny that they gotta hold on for that part. But just about everyone else, anyone with a grain of sense still rolling around in there, is like, yeah, okay, we'll take the other one. She was scary at first, but she's not so scary now. I didn't like the laugh at first, but let me take a look at that small business plan again. Uh-huh. And you said it would help with what? An affordable... Oh, there's a plan for the affordable... Well, I mean, maybe we should give that a shot. How come no one told us about all these policies that were publicly available? Mainstream media. So I think that's going to be the play that kicks the door open, right? Handles the immediate issue of the diapered one taking the seat. And depending on what is brought up, what evidence, what receipts, are discussed and shown will kick open the door for all those other agencies to pop up with, oh, it's funny you say that. Here's that file we've been working on for the last 6 years. Whoopsies, it happens to say that, yeah, everything was planned. Here's all the correspondence leading up to this where they were discussing it in detail. Everything, whoopsies, we've been sitting on that. Because you got to remember, it's bigger than what's his face. It's not just about keeping him out of the seat, although that's a big part of it. It has exposed this large underbelly, this gangly network web that needs to be handled because it's a global issue. It's not even just us. And you can't convince me that America isn't leading the charge on this because it is literally our biggest adversaries, the ones that they use to scare us with all the time. So if our government, our current administration, our current everyone is just sitting there and letting it all happen and they're fine with it, I mean, like I keep saying, it's possible, but I just don't see it. I don't believe that. I believe the path was cleared. Everything that you scared the shit out of us was done, so the path was clear and they felt comfortable. They took the bait, they walked right into the trap, and we're going to see the snap. But in addition to seeing the snap, we're going to have a little bit of extra support from these people who are now finally beginning to see, because the snakes have said it to their faces from their own hissing mouths, darling, that they got played. So this, it's beautifully done. You couldn't have scripted it better. I don't know how much of this is chance and how much of this is part of the strategy and part of the plans, but it is coming together in a way that I don't even think they expected, honestly. Someone sitting back at a screen going, holy shit. All right, I didn't think they were going to do that, but nice. Yeah, that helps. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I already said it on my main TikTok channel, but these people just going at each other. You've got Steve Bannon calling Muscatina a literal toddler who needs a wellness check from CPS. You've got Laura Loomer going after Tech Bro MAGA. You've got... You've got Butch Body, MTG, like trying to straddle the fence. She's sitting here going, yeah, America first, we should be investing in American jobs and education. But then she also agrees with the tech bros that, oh yeah, well, your education sucks and you want too much money and you're lazy and all that stuff. And how people should stop getting college degrees because those are useless and stop trying to be YouTube influencers, and they need to go get trade jobs because that will address the issue at hand, which is immigrants being brought in for the STEM jobs. And no shade to trade work at all. You can make some good money. I like working with my hands compared to corporate. Ugh, corporate. But it doesn't address the concern of, well, you're given the juicy jobs, the STEM jobs, the jobs of the future jobs, and again, this is also no disrespect to immigrant, because come on now. It is just interesting that by combining these polar groups, we are now at the point that they're not even in power and they're already imploding on themselves. The billionaires couldn't wait to take off their masks. Like, they are not practiced at having to fit in with the normies. So this was driving them crazy the whole time, that they had to pretend that they were okay being around the regular people. So they're like, finally, oh my God, yeah, you guys suck. We can't stand all of you. We're in charge now. Like, good luck. Oh my gosh. Nikki Haley was on the America First side of it, so she wasn't on the tech bro side. Obviously, Steve Bannon is not on the tech bro side. The smelly one is on the tech bro side. The tech bros are on the tech bro side. And yeah, this is going to be very interesting. And, just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and whatever happens next. Like, the bowl of I told you so, of watching this implosion of a meltdown of the girls fighting is just...